This was the man the group called Direct, because he directed everyone like they were on a movie set. Each one playing a part, each one acting to save their skin. Are you transporting any materials that have not been declared or are illegal? This was Maria. No, sir, they've been declared. Bibles for our ministry work in the UK. This was Direct. And if they recognize your face, this was Maria. Surely, sir, you must be mistaken. I am a loyalist. Direct and Maria had been rehearsing her biggest role yet. For weeks, one that would bring her above ground, one that would expose their work, put her in jail, or worse, destroy the films forever. Now that she was at the airport, attempting to smuggle the band reels out, the dialogue played back in her head. All the times Direct told her to make eye contact, not shy away. Instructed her to hold her rosary beads, sprinkle in some peace be with yous to the customs officer. All the times Direct said nuns were calm and serene, like old people, and Maria needed to lose that edge from being on the run for so long. Artists are too serious. Try to relax, he joked, and exhaled smoke in her face. The last time she saw Direct was on Monday. His brother was missing. Good luck. Those were the last words he spoke to her. As he squeezed her hand, and if you get scared, he added, just think of Charlie. Now the morning had arrived. Maria looked at the snaking line, hundreds of her countrymen attempting to flee with all of their possessions packed into a single suitcase, like ants following a trail of honey with nothing in sight but one directly in front. The only difference was that she planned to come back. Ever since the country went dark, a heaviness pushed her, changed her. They were just friends who loved art in Kurosawa, who talked about Ray at cafes and spent hours in the dark cinema on Timog, the only one that played Broca. They started making films in college, her, Direct, and Charlie, messing around, really. Direct was always the director, Maria the lead, and Charlie the DP. It was a game until slowly their subjects turned real to what was happening every day, to the ways the new society was turning everything black, and the calm and quiet became a thin-veiled violence, a violence that took their friends, their neighbors, their teachers, and eventually Charlie. Now they were making dangerous films. Now they were wanted. If Maria could just get the reels through, Direct had a contact in London, a man she had to find, if she made it, who she only knew as Tate. He preserved these films, had an interest in creating an archive of banned materials, and would pay money. He was only somewhat sympathetic to their cause, more inclined to saving works of art from languishing in a human backroom in Manila, in a Manila safe house, and say, freedom. Tate had promised to do a screening, one he said journalists would attend, and Maria would do the introduction. It was their only hope for wider international exposure, and their group had to take any alliances when they could. It would only be a matter of time before they were shut down. The streets were buzzing about their films, and now Maria had the only copy disguised amidst all these Bibles. The police were onto the screenings. They were organizing in basements and garages. It wasn't just for college kids and activists anymore. They were doing screenings almost every night. Maria walked down the long corridor, the fluorescent lights making her hands look yellow, so she rubbed them together. She walked into the last bathroom before the gates and splashed her face with water, saw her reflection, the brown habit covering her hair so tight it covered the large mole on her left temple. The word-beaded cross around her neck, Direct bought at a church. She looked down at the squeaky orthopedic cork sandals over flesh-toned stockings. This is what a nun looked like the bald trunk of a tree. Good afternoon, sister, an elderly woman passed her in the bathroom and made the sign of a cross as a blessing or an omen. It had taken Direct 6 months to line everything up for this mission. This wasn't a screening at a packed barangay hall, a church, after dark where there were passwords and codes. This was different than the rallies and poster drops they used to do. This mission required going abroad. This required a passport. She was shaking in the line like her fellow ants following the scent of honey. Next in line, the customs agent asked, without looking up. It was a woman, young and light-skinned with large pearl earrings. Good afternoon, Anak, Maria said, calling the agent daughter as a term of endearment. even though she couldn't have been 2 or 3 years younger. Maria was trying to embody the wisdom and age Direct said a nun would have. Passport? She reached under her heavy robes. I'll be gone for a week, for a mission. What type of mission? Doing the works of the Lord, you know. Helping the poor, helping the sick. The agent looked at the passport closer, held it up to the light, flipped through the pages as Maria smiled through her teeth. She was sweating under all the starch and wool. She rubbed the beads on her necklace to help her mind focus. She tried to say a prayer to herself but didn't know how. Almost over, it's almost over, almost over. How long have you been a nun? The customs agent asked, putting the passport under the scanner one more time. I took my vows 2 years ago, Maria said, holding up her ring finger and the gold band Direct wore on his right hand after his wife went missing. A real Carmelite would have a silver band, and she realized, and slid her left hand back under her robes. Okay, you can go now. Maria's neck was dripping and her hands shook as she pulled her bag of Bibles tighter. She stepped into a circle of light, imagining Charlie was behind the camera, and made her grand exit just like she had rehearsed.